startup grind is so nice. I think it's such a great initiative.
I think it's a good initiative based on the fact that I'm also more into developing and empowering women.
We're really excited to have this phenomenal female founder here tonight. She started off in a really, really rural part of the world, didn't have any access to a computer, went off to go study, a very brave move, studied, and here she is working with Intel, IBM. I could name a few other major companies, but this lady is doing it all. So guys, please stand up on your feet. Let's give her a massive warm welcome to Startup Grind. Woo! There we go. Woo! There we go. Thank you so much. All right. Okay, you comfy there? You good?
Yep.
There we go. Thank you so much for coming through tonight.
Thank you so much. This is super cool, man.
There we are on the stage. All these people, smiley faces. Okay, so every startup grind that we start off, we ask the question, where were you born?
Oh, okay. So I was born in Limpopo, a very small town, actually to be specific, a very small village. You can actually count them. You can count everybody. I was born in a small village called Beningota in Limpopo. That is basically where I come from.
And how did you go, where did you go to primary school? Did you go to school there in that small village, or did you travel to school?
Okay, so I actually used to walk to school because, so it's very funny, from primary school to high school, you can like literally go buy lunch from high school. That's how close we are from each other. So I started in the very same space, high school and primary
school.
But in my grade 10, I felt really cool and then went outside of my village and then started somewhere. There's this guy called Mike around here. I actually started by his place, so yeah.
Okay.
That's actually where.
There we go.
Yeah.
And how did you go? Because I mean, you didn't have a computer, you didn't have a smartphone, anything like that, but you went to go study software engineering. How did that happen?
That's actually a very interesting story because what basically happened is that I wanted to be the change. I wanted to be in a position where I could go to ShopRite, see the computer. It looks really cool when everybody's just navigating around the computer, but it looks scary for someone who doesn't know how to use it. And that was like something that encouraged me to actually branch into the space. So I told myself, I don't want my kids to be in the same position that I am, where I didn't really know much about computer and all. So my kids have to be different. My little sister, people around me have to be in a position where they are able to access without being scared about like scared of the computer. So that is more my motivation. I was motivated by that.
And was this from a very young age that you were like, you saw these things and you were like, this is what I want to do? Or did you, as you grew along and you came more and more in contact with the technology, that you were like, okay, this is definitely where I want to go. I don't want to go. And were your parents forcing you to go in another direction?
Oh, I got very lucky because, I was raised by my mom. She's a single parent. She didn't really get to choose for me what I need to do. I was just free to do whatever. And because of that, I didn't always know that I'm going to end up being in IT. And I had very much of a slim knowledge as far as IT is concerned because I didn't even know that is broad. For me, it was just like just pressing buttons and doing it. Have you seen how ladies in ShopRite do it? It's very quick. It's very quick and it looks super cool for someone who's outside. So for me, it was like just that motivation of being scared is actually what pushed me. So I didn't really know that I'll find myself there, but I found myself here and it's really exciting, I must say. So yeah.
And when you went to varsity to go study now, I mean, you didn't have much interaction with computers, and now suddenly you were in classes with everybody that did have computers. What was that like?
Can I tell you a story? This is very much of an interesting story. I actually tell it to everybody because what happened is that the very first day in class, they were like, okay, hey, everybody switch on your computers. We're told by this lecturer. So somehow I'm like, okay, what do I do? Everybody else, first day at school, what I've noticed is that everybody is impressing everybody. Like we got this, man, I'm from CAP, school, whatever. We had computers in school. And yeah, I have the knowledge, at least the basic knowledge. But for me it was different because I had to raise my hand, very shy, very scared, because then you had to question whether you're in the right space, whether this is what you want to do, because everybody else is like switching on their computers. And then I called the lecturer. He's like, I'm like, I don't even know how to, I don't actually know how to, where to press.
And it switches computer on.
Like everybody else's computer is switching, you know, that Microsoft thing, or like, what's this? Something is happening, their screens are blue, mine, I don't know. So then it was like, okay, are you sure you're in the right space? That's what he asked me. And I was so shattered that day, to be honest, because I actually went to my room and cried and asked myself whether I want to continue in this space or not, or what's going to happen. And then next thing they were like, okay, so we're just gonna, this is not what you're gonna do on your daily basis, but for a start, you are gonna be opening your Microsoft Word and let's just try type something. It's the first day in class and I was enrolled on a foundation level. And everybody else is like typing, man, they know where to go. I'm raising my hand again. Where do I go? I don't know. And all that kind of experience on its own kind of groomed me, and from that day I knew it's either I quit or I'm gonna fly, and flying is what.
Home, that's the job.
Yeah. So we took it home.
Wow.
Yeah.
And okay, so from that stage on, did you ask your classmates and friends and get information going and create groups, or did you just fight it on your own throughout the entire process?
Well, luckily at school we have like your student mentors, so I had like few of them. I had few friends who were helping also, in this case. So, but to be honest, first semester was a bit harsh, but the second one, there was a point where I actually was almost helping others, being a bit of a student. I'm not smart, but I tried kind of working extra hard just to be in a position where I wanted to be like everybody else. Like, I mean, you want to be like other kids at the end of the day. So yeah.
So you didn't, you were scared to ask questions, but you did ask those questions.
I did.
Even though you knew it was like.
It was not comfortable.
Easy.
I did a lot of crying. I'm not a crying person, but I did a lot of crying in varsity. Yeah, I did a lot of crying. There were days where I'm a very spiritual person, so I'd like go pray like, oh God, you know how much I need this. I need to get this right, and I don't know how. You know, like it's like one of those things. Like, but at the end of the day, you also have to stand up and do something. So I did both crying and getting my hands dirty.
Getting your hands
So,
dirty.
yeah.
I like it. And from that time onwards, you say that things obviously got better and you got more involved with it, you
Yeah.
started enjoying it more, you found your confidence. And what happened after that?
What happened after that? I don't know if I should say pre that, because I was actually like speaking to someone and like I got to master stalking. It works if you do it right. So yeah, I became a stalker. It's a very interesting story, and I tell it to everybody and everywhere I go, because I believe it made me who I am. So what happened is that at the end of the day, I found myself at Geekulcha, the one that was just mentioned now. And I stopped Misho. So there was this email that came like, hi, Mr. Hadebe, we are inviting your students to come and attend this workshop. It's happening at MLab and all that. And please have your students sign up and all. And then I kind of like tried to open the link. Okay, there's like regards, Mishongobeni from Geekulcha. So I have Geekulcha, I have Mishongobeni. I am so gonna follow this guy and I'm just gonna do my thing, you know? And then in the process of doing that, I couldn't get the workshop, but I have his name. So I went and followed everybody on Facebook who goes by the name of Mishongobeni. I had like a number of them. And I also went to just check Geekulcha. So like 2 of them. There is one that is like a US page that is like crap. They are talking like comedy and everything, and it's like, I'm like, there's no way this guy is talking workshops and also not from US and all. but I kept it for some time. So there were two Geekulchas that was for. But then Geekulcha was still very young, so there was not much content. I wouldn't really know. But then the thing is, I didn't know him. So to cut it short, I kept inboxing Misho to a point where he was like, "Who are you? Where do you come from? Whose child are you, by the way?" Because like, you know, like this is crazy. What do you want from me? And then next thing he was inviting me for an interview. But I started an interview because I stalked him. So, you know, stalk but do it right. So that's what I did.
So go for those goals. You had a mentor that you wanted to be with. And you just pushed until you eventually got
in. So as soon as I joined Geekulcha, a lot of things happened.
Okay. Tell us in 60 seconds, what is Girl Rising?
So Girl Rising is an organization that is international. We evangelize girls' education. We just like believe that a girl has to stand up and be herself and do whatever she believes she can do. So because everybody has that passion can go out there, so we say rise.
Right, perfect pitch. How did it actually start?
Okay, so how it actually started, like I was saying, everything puzzled up. So Geekulcha is the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm saying this because everything puzzled up from that. So because one of the perks of being in Geekulcha is attending these cool events, cool parties, tech parties. We have parties in tech, you know. so yeah, attending all those, and then somehow I realized that, you know, there is so much of like less women in the space. You hardly, I mean, we have so many women today, like, you know. But in tech spaces, it's not the same thing. We have hackathons. This is like a 3 days or 2 days event. And in this case, you have like 3 women. You have like your Michael. There are like a whole lot of them, you know? And you have to go to bathrooms. I love doing my nails. You can do your nails in hackathons and things like that. But then if you don't have someone to support you, if you don't have someone who believes in the same thing, like, ew, your nail polish is smelly, you can't do that because they are guys, you know. No offense to guys, but that's just how it is. And when you want to go to the bathroom at night, it's like, who do I talk to? Because it's guys alone. And during that phase, I was like, okay, something needs to be done. And I'm believing much in the words of our great leader, Mahatma Gandhi, be the change you want to see and all those. I always believe that I need to be the change myself. So whatever it is that I feel like needs to be changed, I feel like I'm responsible also to change it. That's when we kind of started. Okay, so I spoke to Misha when we came back, like, okay, so I feel like something needs to be changed. He's like, go for it. So I took one post on Facebook, like, hey guys, we're starting this tech hub on Facebook. I mean, we're starting this cool tech hub for girls. And then if you're interested, come join us. It's very cool, you know? And in that, it was like, okay, well, people responded. My inbox was like on fire. And it was really amazing. Then I'm like, okay, so I don't have a plan. We don't have a plan. Nothing is figured out. But we promised people. That was it. Yeah, we promised people that we have this cool tech app. It sounded really cool in my head. And yeah.
Fake it till you make it.
You know? So that's what I did. And somehow went on Twitter, because then it's like, okay, so follow a whole lot of people in Tech Hub. That's when I bumped into Girl Rising, because like organization for girls. When you Google such things on Google, you find a whole lot of things. You find a whole lot of organizations, and I picked those ones that I found interesting. I picked the founders and followed them on Twitter and invited them to be speakers on the day. A lot of them responded, like, hey, please follow back. I need to DM. That's what I did. So I DM'd everybody who followed back. Then that was it. That's how we found the speakers. And then we found the venue. Then we had a very successful meetup. And I was then later on the Girl Rising ambassador. So everything puzzled up and was like a very much of an interesting thing.
From just faking and making it, and you found a way, you just figured it out.
It became really massive. fake it till you make it, it becomes amazing. Like, you just need to believe. You just need to believe that you are the change, and you will change.
So what are your responsibilities and what do you have to do for Girl Rising?
So for Girl Rising, I just need to look at my community. Like I said, Girl Rising is more on evangelizing girls' education. So girls' education comes in different levels for different people. So what I need to do is just identify my community. What is it that is needed for my community to actually educate them? I looked at mine, and I realized that we have so many resources in our hands. We have so many resources that the government is offering. Also, different private companies are also offering. And what just needs to be done is to have everybody realizing that we have these resources. We just need to be in a position where we inspire people. And that's actually what I do. So we get to be in the space where you invite industry leaders who are just doing it big, and then just like inspire people. Yes.
Right. Here we got questions. So guys, please put your questions onto Slido or ask your questions. How can school-age girls start preparing themselves to enter a career in STEM or tech?
How can they start preparing themselves? I mean, you just need to be in a position where you are interested to start something new, to create. So I think it starts in the mind more than anything, because apart from the fact that you can access resources online, like everybody else usually say that, you need to have the mentality where you like, I need to change. I need to be a game changer. And then being a game changer means that everything around you will change. You'll be the one,
as you change, everything around you will change, and so you will influence greatness.
Yeah.
I like this. You apparently got a 10-year plan. Tell us about your 10-year plan.
Oh, my 10-year plan. Okay, so at some point in life, I wanted to work for Google, but that changed. I think I want to be the Google.
You want to be the Google?
Yeah.
There we go, girls. Give it up. Yeah. Don't work for Google, be Google.
Yeah.
Okay. Another question here. Are there lots of unexplored opportunities women can take up if they would like to get involved in the tech industry?
And are there lots of unexplored opportunities? I don't know if that question needs to be elaborated. Like.
Okay, so what are the opportunities out there for the tech woman?
You'll be surprised, especially in this day and age that we're living in, because of the fact that this space is misrepresented for women. Everybody else is like jumping in and wanting to uplift the woman. So there is a lot. I mean, there is also, even in the industries, the corporate world, you have those careers or those vacancies that are just specifically, we need a woman. That's why they say, okay, so we are opening this one, we need a developer and it needs to be a woman. So that on its own is an opportunity. And then for people who want to just start their own thing, we have different incubators that women can also explore in. We have your innovation hub, we have Standard Bank incubator. Like that is something that as a woman you might want to be in the space, and then there's a lot of your companies that is like so ready to help. I worked with Intel.
Tell us about that story.
The story with Intel, that is actually also an interesting one, because the lady who was the speaker of the first meetup is sponsored by Intel. And later I found out that Intel was actually sponsoring Girl Rising. I didn't know that before working with her. So she went to Intel, back to Intel, and like, okay, so I don't understand why you guys are not working with this girl. She's an ambassador for Girl Rising in South Africa, and you guys are sponsoring Girl Rising. And then weeks later, I was receiving an email from Intel like, hey, we want to make you like an ambassador. So I was an ambassador for some time for Intel.
Okay.
Which was really cool because, man, it's like having a tag of a big name. I think I found my job at IBM because they found my video on Twitter from Intel. So like Intel got to like feature me on one of their videos. We did like a very much, felt like a celebrity at some point. And it was like really cool. So yeah, I got my job from IBM because I worked with Intel, which was really cool because I was headhunted then, like, hey, you know, I didn't really match the school that IBM, because it's like consulting. I was enrolled to like consulting by degrees. I have a diploma. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So how do you make money at the moment?
I have a day job. I work for a consulting company, consulting firm as a digital specialist. So my day job is more of a full stack developer. I sort of touch everything that gets to be given to me. So in this case, we are talking your Java, we are talking front end, we are talking back end. I just don't design, but I touch almost everything. So that is my day job. That's how I make money.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And what is the coolest app you've ever developed?
The coolest app that is yet to be published. So I promise this year that it's gonna be published. I work on this app that I call Pregaware. This is like a pregnancy app / ovulation calculator / everything. It's so amazing, guys, because in this one you get to be, so I have this cool feature that is like your doctor's corner. So every woman gets to be a doctor in this app, because like you know, when you subscribe to the app, you just like get to just diagnose everybody. So should I come like, I have period pains, they like this, they like that, and all, and then someone else has been in the similar situation. A lot of women can attest that, you know, period pains is like a hassle and all. So in in that case, they can actually tell you that, okay, so this is what you need to do. I've done this, it worked for me. And that is being a doctor, right? Basically, that is it. And then you also get to be like, you have like a feature that it's like an ovulation calculator. So for those who are trying to give birth, they know when they're fertile, and they can just, you know, try it out.
Do that thing, man. Do that thing. I like it.
And for those who want to stay away and not be pregnant and all, it's
away.
like, okay, so you are most fertile right now. Do not. You know, so it's like, yeah, on that level. So that is basically, those are like two cool features, and then obviously it's like an app. It has other useless features.
Is the app, are you launching it soon, or has it been
yes, it's gonna be launched soon. It's this
Watch
year
out for
more than
that
ever.
space.
It's like,
Alright.
yeah.
If I was a kid living in a township, I don't have a computer, I don't have anything, what advice do you have for me?
My advice in this case would be that just believe that you can do it. And then in this case, there's a lot of resources that are also found in your phone. So if you are able to access WhatsApp, I mean, I believe a lot of kids from townships have their phones. Okay. So you can then to develop from just using your phone, because there's like different tutorials. You have your code etches, that is like so cool. You can learn a lot from that. So the very same capabilities or like of just using WhatsApp, I believe your phone can be able to just also access the internet. So you just need an internet, and then you should be good to go.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. Any other questions out there? Here we go.
Okay, so you have a passion.
Yeah.
And you have a purpose.
Yeah.
Your purpose is you want to be the change you want to see.
Yes.
So this app, is it connected to the change you would like to see in younger females?
It's yeah. Okay.
Is there something you would like to educate with that?
So this is more on an educational level, because being on a Pregaware level, I believe none of the younger girls wants to fall pregnant. Mm-hmm. And if you are aware of your body, if you are aware of the things that happened, it's very funny how when you move around and then you ask about just ovulation on its own, it's like there is so much of limited information. People don't know what happens in their body. I personally, it's very fun. I have one of my friend I get to ask more often that like when she's acting funny, I know when she's ovulating. I know, like I kind of know her ovulation dates. It's very creepy, I know. But when you know such things, then you know what to do when, you know, because from a Christian background myself, it's easy for me to can tell the Christian girls to stay away from boys, you know. But you can't tell all the girls that. So for those that you can tell to abstain and stay away from playing around, you can, you know, they can use the app, and then they are aware that these are the dates that are very dangerous. And also being in a community, I mean, it's building a community that has women. Some of them are gonna be just like doctors / teachers and mentors to those girls. So that is more on the purpose of. I'm really glad that you actually also mentioned the purpose part, because it settles that.
Yeah. And then I have one more question.
Yeah.
I just want to ask, how are you going to commute or get that information, so the app and the technical part of it in those areas where it is needed? Do you have a plan, or do you have a way that there will be some kind of connection for these people to be able to use this app?
Okay, so I haven't really thought much about that at this point, but it's actually a very good one for me to actually go back and think about, because I just thought it's just gonna be one of those things where I'll have people downloading the app, but then it will be good to actually like just approach schools. Through Girl Rising, I get to work with schools, so it should be easy to actually be in a position where we give it to schools. So
yeah, networks. I saw a hand over here. Yes.
Firstly, nice idea with the app. Most people from townships or villages don't have access to colleges, and also the conversation of ovulation and boys is more taboo than liberated. So that would be a nice feature. But it sounds like you've had the idea for quite a while.
I did.
Why haven't you published it?
So I was consumed by the corporate world at some point. I got really, like when I moved from IBM to just like joined IBM, I was fairly new, and then everything else was new. The need to learn, the need to understand the corporate in a different level from what I was exposed to also was just, I didn't really have much time to like push it. Okay, so the app has been existing on like your Windows phone, which is like really basic, but I want it big. I want it to be like really, really huge. Way can it be accessible via web? It can be accessible via mobile applications, and that is more the reason why I kept it so long. But then I am so pregnant with the app right now, and
I love the wish. But any other questions? Yes, at the back. Yeah.
With the schools that you work with and you do the coding, do they all have access to the internet? Because I find that most of my schools, they don't have internet access, and that's where we then struggle to get the coding running and off the ground. So how have you guys managed to tap into the space where you get all your schools to have internet and then everything is running smoothly?
It's very funny. Well, to be honest, a lot of schools that personally the girls that I've tutored a lot, there was no internet whatsoever. And how it works, we don't normally go to schools. When I was like working with Intel, we would bring the kids to us, so they would be like in your Intel offices and things like that. So then it's like kids from KZN somewhere where there's like no access whatsoever. But because you've kind of studied your audience, you know that this is what is going to be needed. You start from the beginning where you kind of explain, this is the keyboard, this is this is that, before you can actually introduce them to whatever the language that you're going to be working on the day. We also help with just like opening email addresses, just so like they kind of have the feel of the environment or the tech space itself. So. Cool.
How long has your Tech for Women incubator been running for?
So, is it 4 years now? Yes, it's 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
And how many people go through that program or have gone through the program? Do you know?
So I don't really have the numbers. So there's different things because like there is Intel, which is like different kids every time. This is like high school kids, and they're from different communities. And then we have Raiketeta. Raiketeta is more.
What does Raiketeta mean?
We are doing it ourselves.
Okay.
So it's like, hey, you know, we are the ish kind of situation. So yeah, with Raiketeta, we have a community that is pretty standard. It's us every time, and we.
And how often do you guys meet up and do coding meetups, or how does it work?
So for now, it's more like once in 2 months.
Once every 2 months?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you as a community will come together and then code and build something, or is it a project based, or is it like a hackathon, or?
It's different every time. We tackle different topics because the aim of the organization itself, which by the way is under Geekulcha, is to actually have girls come together, have women come together, and be in a position where they are comfortable about the space. Okay. So we kind of introduce different things. If we are going to be talking GitHub or Git whatever, or design thinking, or those kind of technical terms and technical resources that we feel is useful, we get to do that. And also, we haven't really built an application that is of our own in this case, but that is like, it's baby steps. Yeah.
So you're getting together with this group of ladies coming together and able to actually work out what they need to get to the next level, and then have guidance from Geekulcha and from other people to get to those levels.
Yes.
Okay.
So in most cases, we get to also work with like your second years, first years, and everything. When I was a second year, I didn't know what's going to happen to my life. To be honest, as far as
I don't think anybody does.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
yeah. So I guess the girls are lucky because they kind of have an idea.
Yeah, okay.
We get to like work on real stuff that are happening in the real world. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Any other questions on the board? Do you believe anyone can
What is
be?
Michelle Obama's involvement in global rising?
Okay, what is Michelle Obama's? There we go. Thank you for the question. What is Michelle Obama's involvement in Gold Rising?
So Michelle believes in girl power.
Okay.
That is one thing. She believes like girls can be whatever they wanna be in life, and her involvement. I attended just one of her. Okay, it was online. I didn't really get to meet her. Just to put it out there. So it was like one-on-one. I mean, kind of like asking question and answers level. So like I said, Girl Rising has like so many sponsors. Intel is one of them, and Michelle is also like a supporter. She supports the event. I mean, she supports the organization itself. So it's more on an advisory level, as far as I know. So whatever it is that you need from Madam Michelle, you get. Well, I've been fortunate to just like, hi Michelle. It's something, right? Yeah. An email for the ambassadors. You can like, it's like it was on an email level. Like, hey, so I have this question, and so.
So you're stalking Michelle Obama or no?
I'm very good with stalking, but then with Michelle, I haven't really found the need. Yes, I haven't really found the need. At some point in life, I actually was stalking Lima Donsela. So it's like when I find the need, then it's very easy. It's very easy to stalk someone and like have to talk to them one-on-one. I've done that a lot. There's this woman called Ethel Coffee also. I stalked her and then it worked. And we have a very good relationship. She's my mentor right now. She's sitting in Kenya. I have 2 consulting companies. And because I wanted to be closer to her, I wanted something from her. I created a need, and then even with her, it's like, hey, please follow back. And, so yeah.
Fundamentals.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Do you advise your mentees to do a degree or just to learn by doing?
So it is in 2 ways, right? It's either you're doing it for the paper or you're doing it for the knowledge. If you're doing it for the knowledge, then go for it. But if you're doing it for the paper, then I'm worried. I was actually busy with my BTech at some point, and somehow, so I actually in my CV right now has a tag like a dropout kind of situation. At least I'm also part of the trend, like you know, dropped out from school. Yeah, but the reason for that is because I felt like I was doing more of the theory of the practical I'm already exposed to, and then I had to question myself whether I'm doing it for the paper or for actually the knowledge. Then you kind of have to evaluate why are you doing it. Then it's good both sides, depending on why you're doing it.
Any other questions? No? Oh yeah. There we go. Let's see anything cool on here. Do you believe anyone can be an entrepreneur, or is it someone has to be born with?
I think we need to define what is entrepreneurship more than anything. Not that I have a definition myself, but I believe for me being an entrepreneur is you being in a position where you feel responsible to change something that hasn't changed as yet. So you take the responsibility for yourself that, okay, I believe I am the change. I believe I can do this better. And because of that, then you jump into it. Or someone else can, someone else will. It's just like ideas, they run around and then they have, like different people have different ideas. Some of them are the same and all. So it's just believing that you can do it. It's not really a matter of who is an entrepreneur or who should be an entrepreneur. And I'm so much against the idea of just like people enforcing the, you know, like, okay, so you need to do things yourself, like you need to leave your corporate world and everything. Someone has to do something in the corporate world, someone has to be working. And there are people who can do it better in corporate, and there are people who will do it better as entrepreneurs. So both worlds work. It depends on who you are.
And what's your idea?
Yeah, and what is your idea? Are you doing it for the tag that you're an entrepreneur? It's
Bad idea.
Yeah.
Love it. So grab those opportunities and stalk people.
Stop, yeah. Careful how you do it. Be a good stalker. I can teach you a thing or two, like if you want. But
everybody get hold of it. Guys, thank you. And Hlulani, thank you very, very much for chatting to us today. We've got the business card draw. So the business cards are coming through. And then they get to win. There we go. All right. Thank you very much. So let's just shake this up a bit. Make it all fair. Grab a card.
it's blank. Oh, okay. Mboni Mangai.
You are the winner. There we go. You get to win this cool t-shirt. There we go. Pleasure. Awesome. Okay, guys, thank you very, very much.